We're in the top 2 for long ball. Does that make us a long ball team? Well, we'll listen to what Ruben Amorim had to say about that. And I don't think that's the way we're going to play today. But in relation to what Arne Slot had said, where he basically said that Man United were difficult to play against because they just kept pumping the ball long, this is what Ruben Amorim had to say. I don't care what Arne Slot is saying. Sometimes you need to adapt to the game. I don't need anyone to evaluate my team. I can evaluate my team myself. So, look, Ruben Amorim coming out fighting against Liverpool's manager, having beat him in his own backyard. I mean, the trouble with sour grapes is if you lose a game of football, then you leave yourself open to that sort of thing. I think we need to move past the Liverpool game, really. It was a fantastic result for us. Leave it to Liverpool. You know, that's the whole point of beating your rival. You beat them, you move on. We've got Brighton. It's a bigger game than Liverpool, and it's today. Liverpool, obviously, do not like losing. They're used to winning. And they do not like losing at home to their biggest rival, which is Man United. I think what Amorim is saying, leave it to Slot. Let him keep moaning. We've got our own journey, and it ain't nothing to do with Liverpool. They got beat because we went there and did a job on them. We did something that every single one of us seemed to agree with a week ago. We can't go there and play open. We have to play counter-attacking football. We did that, and then you get criticised for it. I remember Erik ten Hag going there a couple of years ago, and it was the first time we went after the 7-0. And everyone was going, oh, you're going to get beat 7-8-0 again. And he went there and parked the bus. We got a 0-0 draw. We had hardly any shots. They had about 30. And the criticism was, you can't go to Anfield and park the bus. And I think sometimes this is the problem with Manchester United. Sometimes this is the problem with the noise around Manchester United. No matter what you do, you can't win. The only thing you can do is win the league. But trust me, I've seen us win the league and get criticised. So at Manchester United, you're always going to get scrutinised. And I think that's why recruitment is really important. There will never be a point where you get total praise. Even after we won the treble, there was rumblings that we needed to bring in more signings than we did. So there is always going to be criticism. There is always going to be scrutiny. And I think people saying, oh, we're a long ball team now. I mean, you know, Amorim finally wins 2 games in a row and is on the verge of 3, maybe 4. And we're a long ball team now. It doesn't matter what Amorim does. It doesn't matter what Manchester United do. He will always get criticism. It's like I put this tweet out the other day and someone said, oh, and Goldbridge is acting like a United fan. It's a stat. It's a fact. I basically said Ruben Amorim needs to win 17 games in a row to equal Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's win ratio. And he got sacked. And people are going, oh, Forest fan, not a proper United fan. What are you talking about? It's a bloody fact. What I'm saying is fact. What I'm saying is that Ruben Amorim is not out of the woods. What I'm saying is that his win ratio is appalling and he's got a long way back. And starting to criticise him about long ball and everything like that is a little bit premature when 2 weeks ago people wanted him sacked. I don't know what we're thinking of when we go, we did beat Liverpool, the champions of England, in their own backyard, but why didn't we beat them 6-0 by playing prime Barcelona? You know, we've got to be real. And I think that I don't think against Brighton today we're going to play in a way that's long ball. And if we do, then we can scrutinise that in the match reaction. But ultimately, long ball and a win, or open and lose. You know? And that poses a bigger question if we win playing crap, because I would say all that matters is winning, but we're definitely in survival mode, and at some point you're going to have to come out of that. But in the short term, it's a long way back. And I think if you said to Amorim, you can win the next 6 games in a row with long ball, or you can try and play open and win 3, he's going to say, give me the 6. And that's where we are at the moment. I don't like it. I don't like Delot running to the other side of the pitch to launch a bloody Rory Delap into the box. But that's where we are because of what's happened over the last few years. We were rock bottom after the Europa League final. We didn't buy a midfielder in the summer. We're not going to play... We've got Bruno Fernandes in the midfield. Like, we're not going to play vintage football. Why do you think we're hitting so many long balls? Because our number 1 midfielder loves a Hail Mary. He loves a high-risk long ball. I saw a stat today that Bruno Fernandes has created more chances than anybody else. He always does. I guarantee most of those are bloody long balls. Somebody said he's made the most recoveries in the middle of the pitch as well. I love the way people pick the 2 stats that fit. Do you want me to go and find the 50 stats that show that Bruno doesn't pick up the runners? That he's out of position all the time? We're playing survival football at the moment, and I'm hoping to see an evolution today. But you can't moan that you want to sack a manager because he's losing games, and then when he starts winning games, start having a moan at him. Arne Slot needs to stay in lane and focus on Liverpool. Man United's lane is way, way behind them.